Hello, and welcome to the Straight to the Source podcast. I'm Tawnya Bahr.
And I'm Lucy Allen, and we're looking forward to taking you straight to the source of the people driving the food and hospitality industry forward.
Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Unox Australia, leaders in innovation and kitchen technology. Hello, and welcome to the Straight to the Source podcast. Today, I'm sitting down with friend Jamie Gannon. This is a conversation where we cut through the noise and get right to the heart of the matters. This isn't your average chef chat, so buckle up and let's get into it. What other leadership qualities do you find in yourself or do you look for in your teams?
I just like commitment.
Yeah.
Like lead from the front. I would never ask any of my chefs to do anything that I wouldn't do. I've been doing things I haven't done for a while, but I want to show the guys that if I can do it, everyone else can do it.
I'm absolutely thrilled to be here and going straight to the source with my friend Jamie Gannon. Welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having me.
So, Jamie, you've never been one to hold back, and this is an unfiltered conversation. And what we want to do here is learn a bit more about you and really what makes you tick.
Yep, let's go.
Okay. So, with your career, when did you start cooking?
98, I joined the Navy.
Okay.
But I think it was home economics before that got me interested. I was terrible at the pencil cases. I think I made a pair of boxer shorts too, which was horrendous. But I actually enjoyed the cooking part. And I always wanted to be a chef, and my grandfather's in the Navy, and he just mentioned, what about the Navy? And I went to join the Navy, I went to apply. And they tried to get me to join as a CSO, which is like combat system, like sit in a dark room and go blip, blip, blip. But I wasn't smart enough for that.
I can't imagine you doing that.
Mate, a rookie error. But thankfully, my scores wasn't high enough to do that. So I was like, nah, I want to be a chef. And it was really, the apprenticeship wages then maybe 20 grand a year or something. I sound old saying that. Whereas I think the Navy was like straight into 34. And,
Okay.
and it went up, I think when I was at sea, I was on 110. Like it was crazy. So as a 17, 18, 19-year-old, I thought this is great. So I joined the Navy. I remember my first day, and I'll tell this story all the time. You think of G.I. Jane?
Mm-hmm.
That was my chief petty officer. Like she was nuts.
Right.
Nuts. And this is the Navy in 98, so it's pretty different now. And I remember we had scran, which is dinner, the first night, and the Navy cooks gave me a bit of gastro, God love them, which is fine. And I had gastro my first night, then I had gastro. And I rolled over to her at 5 a.m. and said, fuck off, I'm not getting out of bed. She literally dragged me from the top bunk, bounced me off the floor. I think I shat myself when I hit the floor, right? And she said, you are getting up.
So clearly she didn't care about cross-contamination.
There was none of that. She didn't care about anyone except for her ego. And that was my first day in the Navy. I was like, what have I done? Take me back to mum.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go back. But I think, and I'll go back to that day every day of my career from then on, and no day is worse than that. Like, if that's the worst day I've ever going to have, then I'm happy. So I think as a 17-year-old, it was a great learning curve.
So were you out to sea on that particular day?
So we did, I don't know, probably 6-9 months ashore.
Okay.
So we did TAFE. We went to TAFE, TAFE. We did 19 weeks straight. So we did 5 days a week for 19 weeks. We got all of our TAFE out of the way, which I thought was good.
Yeah. And
then we went into the workforce. So we did probably 6 months at HMOS Service in the galley there. And then I posted to HMOS Brisbane. Did 18 months on her, decommissioned her. Joined the HMOS Melbourne, went to the Gulf on her, did about, I think, maybe 2 years on that. And then they had a new law where you had to, a rule where if you spent so many years at sea, you had to go ashore. And I was like sitting at a desk, moving paper around. I was like, this is not me. And I'm like, send me back to sea. They're like, no. So I discharged.
I'm curious about the procurement side of things on a Navy ship in terms of bringing in the ingredients, writing the menus, feeding everyone, managing all your supplies. In a nutshell, how does that work?
They were very organised. Like back then, it's a 7-week cycle menu. The store's actually coming backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So when say we get our meat, every box is, I think we're using Top Cut at the time. Every box is numbered with a day and a week, and then obviously that's what you store furthest in the freezer and so on. Fruit and veg we could probably carry, depending on the ship, 15 days, but then obviously it starts to go. It's a lot of frozen stuff. But we used to get stuff heloed onto us all the time.
Right, okay.
So when we were going around Australia on Brisbane, we'd be in a port every 5 days. When we were overseas, it was the Americans that would store us, and we'd leave the operational area, get out, get stores, and then come back in.
Right, okay.
So just pallets of meat, pallets of fruit and veg. All our fruit and veg would come from Holland. or that part of Europe, and it was glamour. It was some good stuff, and that was back then.
That's a hell of foundational training.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah, it was large, very large.
And so when you got discharged, what did you do? Did you just go out in the big bad world and go,
I think I struggled to find, like, it was Navy's very regimented, like it's structure. I struggled to find structure. So when I was working for people, I'm like, these guys are fucking rogue. Like, there's no structure here. Like, people rock up when they want, they leave, they go and have a cigarette when they want. Like, there was no structure. So I did that for about 12 months. And then I thought, I'm going to start my own business. So I started leasing kitchens in pubs.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that for a few years, and then that kind of rolled into having a cafe restaurant, which in hindsight I was probably too young for at the time to do. Like, I just didn't have the business. No, I was a good cook, chef.
So how old were you at the time?
I was 26, 27.
26, 27. And that's often the case, though, for chefs, as we love cooking and we understand the kitchen and the economics of the kitchen, but running a whole business is another cutoff.
Yeah, it was, and this is how naive I was. I remember I went to get business cards. And the guy asked me, he goes, what's your business name? I'm like, I don't even have one. What do you mean a business name? Well, I didn't have an ABN. And I just brought this cafe. I was like, that's how, it was just, just how naive how I was about that. But I learned a lot from that. And I think that's helped me in the later stages of my career.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't regret any of it, for sure. But yeah, definitely struggled to find structure. Yeah, and I still, today, I kind of, I need to know now. I want the plans. I want to know when I've got to be there. What time I've got to pluck. Yeah. It's just one of those things.
It's like your mise en place of life.
Yeah. Like, if you organise everything, then everything will flow on.
Yes.
And talking about mise en place, it's funny when chefs don't set themselves up for service and then they're in the weeds. I'm like, mate, that's your fault.
Yeah.
Like, you had the opportunity to set yourself up, but now, you're up the river in a barbed wire canoe.
Yeah.
You haven't sorted your shit out.
Yeah.
So, there's structure.
So from there, you went on, when you went with the pub scene, you've really become quite iconic for that space. But you chiseled out that niche for yourself. Yeah,
I think like pubs, I built my career off the back of pubs. And it's funny, like, you look at some restaurant chefs, look at pubs and go, it's a pub. Like, they don't give it the respect, right? But pubs, I think in the next 10 years, there'll be more pubs surviving than there will be restaurants. And not because of gaming or anything, but just the way they structure the costs, and they're across it all, like, and the volume, I guess, is what helps them. But yeah, pubs have been good to me. Like, I've learned, pubs are so resilient. Like, you can have a bad head chef with a bad offering, and as soon as you tighten that up and you start delivering again, it just turns. Like, it's not like we're, say a restaurant where 60, 70 seats and your regulars aren't as large, or you don't have as many regulars, I guess. But where pubs, people just go to their pub because it's local.
Yes.
That's the thing. So, and they'll keep going there, even if it's shit sometimes, which is disappointing. But that's just habit. It's just what we do. So when you then put in a good offering, I think, you change the wheel really well. And I think I did that at Laundry, quite well. I had not so much a good team, or not so much a large team around in the beginning, but when I finished up, I had a great team around me, and, we did some really good things. And I think, taking Arthur's pubs from what they were, I remember when I walked in, I was like, what the fuck have I got myself into? To what we left is like, I'm proud of that. And
yeah, you should be.
And when I left, a few people asked, are you sure, going to my new role, are you sure that's what you want? I said, because it's obviously a smaller role. I'm like, 100%. I said, I've done that. Like, no one can take that away from me.
No, exactly. Now let's talk about that transition and that new role as well. Because the Laundry, like, how long were you there?
I was 8 years all up.
Okay.
Yep. So I did 12 months, and then just, this is not for me right now. I guess the group wasn't ready to have me there with changes. That's what I ended up working with my mate Fastage, which was probably, in hindsight, the best thing I've done. One of the best things I've done in my career. And I went back to being a head chef in a venue at Terminus, and I fucking loved it. I got back to cooking. I understood what I wanted, and it wasn't until then that I kind of picked up what I wanted my style to be. And I think I had a lot to play with that, right? Because I would sit in meetings, in my other jobs, and, I'd have people that got no idea about cooking telling me what to cook, how to cook it, how to serve it, right?
Yeah.
And I just look and go, okay, you're entitled to an opinion, but, like, you're not doing it. But then I came to work with someone like Colin, who's a great chef, and he didn't tell me once. He would guide me or say, how about this? Or, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
And then just see how it goes. You know what I mean? And that's kind of taught me, one, my style, and then just whatever you want to do, believe in it, and just stand behind it. Like, if you can stand behind it and that's what you want to achieve, just do it. So I've never been afraid to go backwards to go forwards, and it really helps me. And then I guess the whole COVID thing, kind of changed things. But Arthur asked me to go back to laundry just to consult a little bit for a couple of days a week because I had, a couple of pubs, and I did. Then after the lockdowns, it kind of just flipped around. The family came back in at laundry. We opened 5 pubs off the back of, the 2 lockdowns, which was brutal, and we had a massive growth spurt, and that's where we ended up where we were. So just how things happen. But my time with Colin opened up so many doors. I think of that part of my career where it was a changing moment for me. I was either
like a sliding door.
Yeah, I was either going to transition out of the industry, but I just carved a new way, which
new pathway.
Now I want to keep on carving as well.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I hung around.
Isn't that, that's exciting about our industry, though, is you've carved a new pathway, and it's like finding a new fairy garden.
I get bored easy. Like, I need to keep reinventing or keep pivoting to what I'm doing. Like, I always want to be true to my roots, which is I'm a chef.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always going to be a chef, but where does that lead me on other things? And that's, probably where I'm at now in my career. But I, want to be very true that, I'm a cook, I'm a chef. That's given me the opportunities I've got now,
mm-hmm.
and I'll never forget that. And I think, just what's the word? Integrity about being a chef, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Is what
and being proud.
Yeah, proud. Yeah.
A lot of the younger generation coming through, it's exciting, I think, for them to see other pathways and what you can do with your skills and training at different times in your life.
Yeah, and I think I taught at a college a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago now. And I said to him, I didn't finish school. I did a term of year 11. Okay. I said, I'm not the smartest bloke going around, but I work hard. And I said, I won't always succeed, but I always work at it until I do succeed. I said, so if you've got that drive and that you want to maintain a high standard, you'll always succeed. But yeah, the kids of today, it's a weird one. Like it's a whole different podcast, I reckon.
Yeah.
It is. It's just, I'm just all about now is trying to get the guys to understand that their one job is to cook. Like, there's too many clipboard chefs or now laptop chefs.
So this celebrity chef, it's a fine line. What are your views on that? Because you've now gone into that celebrity chef realm. Do you have a different respect for it, or do you a different appreciation, or what's your view?
Because I've been close to Colin and Manila, they work hard.
He works hard. They all.
It's not roses. Like, no. It's not. When I did 10-Minute Kitchen, I reckon there's a couple of episodes there I was like a busted ass. It's hard to talk, smile, cook, sound enthusiastic. Like, it's not easy. And then, I'm better off the cuff than reading lines.
Yeah.
I'm a one-hit wonder. You can ask Chloe. She receives a few of them. But it's like they've got to that point because there's an opportunity. It's arose it. I don't want to be on the pans at 50.
Yeah.
I'm still on the pans now as much as I need to be. And this new role I've got, I am more because at this stage in my career, I want to be able to, I guess, mentor or just try and get more of my knowledge across to the next generation. And I'm not going to save everyone, but if I can get 1, 2, or 3, I'm happy. But no, the celebrities, they work hard. It's, it's like, I think I heard Colin Bahr the other day. He was in Melbourne to Queensland for Noosa, Noosa back to Melbourne. I just worked 3 weeks straight opening Park Pavilion at Cronulla, which was fantastic.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. And then on Monday morning, I was up at 3:45 on a flight to Brisbane, Aussie Pineapples. Watch the space, that's coming up.
Okay.
For 2 days of running around pineapple fields with pineapples, back last night. Chat
Here with me today.
Back to work tonight.
Yep. It's not for the faint-hearted.
Like, who are you?
3 weeks ago, you were on a fashion show with us on the catwalk.
And you've got to keep it interesting, right? It's busy. It's busy. So I've always had a lot of respect for them. People that just want to go, celebrity chef, we all transition our careers somehow. But if you're happy to stay in that one lane, that's fine. You're entitled to do that. It's your opinion. But don't write people off because they want to have a crack at something else.
Oh, absolutely. So what about this new role, though?
Yep, Culinary Director at First Group, which is exciting.
Yes.
I think I just got to a point, and when I was mentioned before about me, the college that I was teaching at. Look, I did that for 4 hours. Never had my phone on me, which is very, very rare. And I came out of that, and I had 22 missed phone calls and 165 emails.
Did you feel important or overwhelmed?
No one was ringing me to say, hey, Jamie, how are you going? It was all problems.
Oh,
And that was my job. Like
yeah.
that's what the role had come to. And I'm just like, this is not a good use of my skill set.
Yeah.
Like I want to be in front of these kids teaching stuff. Like I want to be cooking. Like I don't want to, I want to balance between the knowledge and, being hands on. Like anyway, and it was just timing. I know Paul, who's the exec chef at Ferris Group, really well because he's married my sister's best friend. So I've known him for 20 years.
Yeah.
And we always talk. And I just rang up and said, mate, are you leaving? Like, what's going on? And he's like, nah. He goes, we're just growing. I need someone to do that culinary side. And as a smart ass as he is, he goes, why don't you apply for it? No. So it's just not, it wasn't on my radar. And then a few other conversations happened. And then I obviously had that 22 missed phone calls, 165 emails, and I'm just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm gonna entertain this, and it worked out. Like, I've gone from 40 venues to 6-ish, and I've gone from doing half the role because he's ex-chef, so he does all the stuff that I dislike: P&Ls, budgets, wages, HR, hire, fire, like all that stuff.
Some people thrive on that.
Yeah, he loves it.
Brilliant.
That's great, awesome, great for me. I just want to do the food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, take the chef to the markets, introduce them to growers, to farmers, show them where the food comes from, try and pick a direction, of where the group wants to go with their pub, with their pub food, and then now into restaurants, so it's going to keep me busy, real busy for a couple of years. So it's great. Well, obviously more than a couple of years, but there's a lot of growth there and changes to happen. Yeah.
And you can also, in parallel to that, do other things that you enjoy.
Yeah, and
so it's getting that balance.
Yeah, I was completely open. I said, I've got these other things happening.
Yeah.
I've got all these other things, that I'm doing outside of what my normal job is. And they're like, yep, that's fine. Because, they're happy to work side by side with me as well, right? And, we'll grow together in that, which is good. It's great.
Well, you talked about ingredients. In your opinion, what's an ingredient you think should be banned from commercial kitchens?
Plant-based patties, food, fake meat.
Okay. Yep. That's had its what is it, time in the sunshine and pubs in particular.
Yeah. There's been a few brands that had some lot of money pushed behind it. I don't know where they are now. I'm all about plant-based. Like it's a place for it, but just use the plants. Don't use over-processed soy products.
When it comes to, we talk about our industry, and obviously there's this smoke and mirrors illusion that it's all very glamorous and what have you. But there is
Who says that?
I know, I read it somewhere.
Yeah, right. Must have been a magazine.
Bit of a rumor, yeah. But when it comes to alcohol and drugs and, some toxic cultures that happen once, shifts are finished and everyone's cleaning up and finished for the day. In your opinion, is that changing? Is it improving? Is it still happening?
I don't see it anymore.
Okay. Uh-huh.
I think it's pretty easy to pick up a chef that's in your team who's got a problem, but I'd pull them aside and say, hey, are you okay? What's going on? I'm sure it's still happening out there, but to what degree, I'm not too sure. I don't think it's as bad as it used to be, but I could be wrong. I could be really wrong, but not where I was and where I am now. It's not a large thing.
Okay.
It's not evident, should I say. But I'm sure it's out there. But I think every industry's got it. It's not just a hospitality thing. And this with the pay scandals and all this, HR stuff that's happening. It happens everywhere. It happens in every industry. I guess we get picked on a little bit, or it's highlighted in hospitality maybe because there's alcohol involved and there's pubs and restaurants and licenses. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's important to be on top of that. I'd like to think that anyone that's in a leadership role in a business can recognise when one of their team members is going through a tough stage, or if they're not performing for whatever reasons. And, I always make a point of when I walk into the kitchen or when I meet a new staff, it's just to find out one or two things about their personal life. As much as they want to give up, I don't want to pry, but, how's your new baby?
Yeah.
I had a sick day last week because the baby was sick. How's just to have that, a conversation outside of work. And I think the chefs like that, the team members like that. It's important to understand what's going, not understanding their day to day outside of work, but to understand, what they're going through. And I think if you're not doing that, you're not a leader that's in touch with your team, in my opinion.
And let's talk about leadership. That's a sign of leadership. What other leadership qualities do you find in yourself, or do you look for in your teams?
I like commitment.
Yeah.
Like lead from the front. I would never ask any of my chefs to do anything that I wouldn't do. I've been washing dishes the last 3 weeks. I've been going through the fridges. I've been running a pass, with a buzzer system, which I haven't done for years. I've been doing things I haven't done for a while. But I want to show the guys that if I can do it, everyone else can do it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's the most important thing. Like nothing should be beneath you. As much as it might drive you mad,
Yeah.
you've still got to do it.
Yeah.
And I think as soon as you lose touch, I want to be in the kitchen so the guys can see what I'm doing, because as soon as you get disconnected, and I'll tell you, I had a boss, no names, years ago. I was a head chef still. He was an exec chef, and I think he was running the grill. I was on the pass, and this guy was in the weeds. Like he couldn't cook. And I just looked at him and said, I never want to be that exec chef.
Yeah.
I never want to be in that position where my team goes, what the fuck is going on? Like you're supposed to be the leader.
Yeah.
And that's always stuck with me. So I'm always making sure that I'm in the kitchens understanding, you know, what the pains are. Because I can't ask them to do it. You know, we've got, say, a menu rollout. These new menu items, I can't ask them to do that if I don't understand the pinch points of the kitchen. You know, I need to understand that. You know, it's just for when you go, I don't want to do this, it's too hard. But I want to know why it's too hard. Or if they're talking porky pies.
Yeah.
You know, so it's important. It's important to stay connected to where you are.
And that just drives, obviously, the respect. And if you're respected, because if you're not respected as a leader, you
look,
get much out of your team.
Yeah, I don't think everyone that's worked with me, for me, they haven't always liked me, and I'm fine with that, but I think they've always respected me. They've always had good teams that have performed well, and, you know, that's fine. Like, I don't have to be liked by everyone.
No.
I don't want to be liked by everyone. I've got enough people in my circle. Like, I can't keep up as it is.
You got enough friends. You don't need to remember anybody else.
But, yeah, just be polite and, you know, make sure they respect, just respect. Respect goes both ways. And there's probably a time in my career where I was a fucking lunatic. You know what I mean? Like, I probably was throwing a pan. You know, but you kind of you mature, but it doesn't get you anywhere. And I was having a conversation with, I think, Marinda, my partner, the other day. I said, like, if the chips are in the fryer, the fry's cooking the chips. It's got nothing to do with the chef. Like, you can scream at that chef as much as you want. It's cooking. Yeah. Like, it's up to the fry's doing its job. It's in the fryer.
Yeah.
So there's no point. You don't get anything, especially today. Everyone came out of COVID very rattled. And even before COVID, you know, I don't think you don't get the best out of people. You know, sometimes you need to have a firm voice, because there are people that just don't do as they're supposed to do. And, you know, you tell people once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, like, come on, mate.
Yeah.
Like, it's a behavioural thing. Like, just fucking do it the way I asked you to do it. Like, it's not hard. But you don't do that in front of people. You pull them aside. And that's probably the last 5-6 years I've probably been like that. You know, you really taper out. And I've got a thing now where I pick my battles.
Yeah.
I don't need to battle everything.
Yeah.
Not everything's that important to me anymore.
Yeah.
Happy to let a few things go, because it's going to have zero impact on my life.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
But that comes from experience and, dare I say, age.
Yep.
You know, maturity and all of those things. I mean, you can still be immature. We know.
I am very immature.
But it does come with that. So that's a good sense checker too.
Yeah.
What about from your day to day? Like, what's one of the dishes that if you had one meal that you would be served and only one person could cook it for you, what would it be?
Mate, I don't know. Oh, I reckon, like, I think Marco Pierre White. Like, that's a bit cliche, but, like, I just like this. There's no frills. Like, there's no fuss. Like, he's obviously a bit outspoken these days, which is fine. But I just like his philosophy around food. Like, it's good produce, treat it well with respect, and it will sing. Like, that's my go-to.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, which is a random question, really.
Well, that's all right.
It's like that when you meet someone. Oh, you're a chef. What's your favorite thing to cook? Like,
I know.
Cheeseburger?
When it comes to different times in your career, how are you transitioning from the kitchen and aligning yourself with brands and social media and going more into the media arena?
I guess it's another pivot of my career, which I'm excited to do, because I want to keep reinventing myself, but obviously stay true to my roots.
Yep.
And I think I got tapped on the shoulder. I was always been into social media, but not very well. You know, I was just doing it. But I got tapped on the shoulder to do a campaign for tin pineapple. And I thought, nah, it's not my cup of tea. Like, tin pineapple is not my thing. Anyway.
Why was that?
Just because I think there's a stigma around it, which I'm happy about, to break a stigma. It's a bit controversial, but I was just like, nah, not my thing. Anyway, as we got going and we went back and forwards, like, this turned into something, you know, half decent. And I found out that, you know, we were going to start, the pineapple we were using in Australia was not Australian in a tin. And I was gobsmacked. I was like, what do you mean? So that's where that campaign started. And then I was getting all these contracts. I'm like, I'm friends with Frenchie, and, we just opened Red Lion. And I was like, mate, I need a hand with this. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anyway. And he was nice enough to throw it to Justine, which is Talent, which looks after him. And she's like, nah, don't sign that. Don't do this. And the conversation started, and she's like, I'm happy to represent you, kind of thing. I was like, all right, this is September last year. I'm like, okay. And that was obviously October last year. And then that's kind of led into 10 Minute Kitchen, and then now working with brands. I've got Chloe that looks after my social media. So she's doing a great job. I've got Nathan, who's my actual agent. He's fantastic. So I've got always surrounded myself with good people. So between my missus at home, Chloe, Nathan,
glad you put her first.
Yeah. I'd be in the shit otherwise. I'm always in the shit anyway. But I've got my close circle really is, some really good people, and they've done some great things. And I've seen some good traction with working with brands. But again, I just want to always make sure that I go back to my roots, which is being a chef, and that, I've got to be integrity about it. Really Australian brands, like the Hillside Food Forest.
Oh, you happen to mention that. We happen to have some. Hang on.
There's no mint slice here. That was there.
There you go. I don't know if I gave you citrus or which one I gave you. Yeah, citrus.
But yeah, I want to, I've transitioned into this space now, and I'm keen to, work with anybody that wants to work with me, but it's got to align with
It's got to align with your values.
And I've got a pretty exciting agreement coming up with Australian Pineapples, where I'll be their ambassador.
Okay.
For Australian Pineapples.
Okay.
Which is, I'm very proud to be the ambassador of such an Aussie icon.
Absolutely.
So I've had no one to do that for them before. It's interesting. It's keeping me busy because obviously I've got a full-time job. So yeah, I think social media has been a big part in just getting me some growth or getting me out there. And I used to hate seeing my face on camera. Like, I'm a very confident person, and it's a confident-based thing. And I literally used to look at myself, you're like an idiot, Gannon. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, I don't care now. I just do whatever I want to do, flick it off to Chloe. She makes me look pretty, and away we go.
No, but it also has to do with your genuine ability to engage and communicate.
Yeah. I just want to come across as myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to be sterile. I don't want to be someone I'm not. I just want to be Jamie Gannon, doing it in my way. Yeah. And that's, as long as I keep doing that, then I'm happy. And if people don't like it, just unfollow me. When people comment and try and troll me, I'm like, thank you for contributing to my engagement. Great. And then they comment back. I'm like, thank you again. You know what I mean? It's great. All the comments, it's great. It's just engagement.
And I'm thrilled that we've collaborated. What have we done? We've done the fashion show. And, the culinary catwalk. We may need to be looking at that again next year. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm happy. That was fun.
Yeah?
Yeah,
no, you broke it. That was awesome.
I think I was the best looking one there.
You're definitely in the top 15. There are 15 models. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on the Straight to the Source podcast.
Thanks for having me. It's been great.
Thanks for listening in. We hope you enjoyed the conversations as much as we did.
And a special thanks to Unox Australia for their support. If you want to learn more, head to their website.